Okay, this is day 92. This is part 5. I just wanted to show everybody Department of Transportation again, and I'm going to pan your way, Task Force, okay? And then also Department of Energy. Now, everybody asks me, why so much with the Navy? Why so much with the Navy? Now that we've developed out the Navy and we've laid that foundation, imagine it like this. The Navy says, look, we have this many ships, okay, Steve? We need this many fuel rods. We're going to need them in Mobile, Alabama, where we make them, wherever Austal makes them, okay? Let's just say it's Mobile, Alabama, Austal, okay? That's going to be a pile, okay? That's going to be a big pile. There's the Department of Energy, okay? Also within the Department of Energy, so we're going to need all that paperwork, NRC, Nuclear Regulatory Commission paperwork. But the uranium doesn't jump out of the ground and become a uranium rod, right? So we need to work the whole supply chain all the way back to getting us that stack. Let's just say all those cars, each one represents 1,000 fuel rods, okay, for our nuclear Navy. Now, I think maybe some econometrician is doing the whole demand curve, but the part that you have control over if you're Steve Bannon and Scaramucci is the Navy. The guy who makes that decision about that stuff, which is suppose those cars are fuel rods, is the Chief of Naval Operations. So that's why I kept emphasizing Chief of Naval Operations, Scaramucci, Bannon, okay? Now, well, let's work it back. You're gonna need that many fuel rods. That means you're gonna need this many, okay? Let's just say these cars are UF6 containers. Hey, Mark Lambert, you're going to need, to get that many fuel rods over there, you're going to need this many UF6 containers. Let's just see each one of these represents a UF6 uranium hexafluoride container, 1,000, let's say. Okay, great. We're working our way back. Now, how many mines are we going to have to pillage? How many Bundy ranches are we going to have to steal is the next question, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. Remember yellow cake, okay? It takes such a pile, okay, of yellow cake. Let's just make that whole building a big pile of yellow cake. It's going to take that much yellow cake to get that many UF6 containers, okay? You know who's Miss Yellow Cake is Valerie Plame. We have a face for yellow cake. She talked all about it. She was an expert in that. Niger, Sudan, all over. And she's going to end up being our uranium yellow cake expert, being able to be that perfect estimator. Here's how many ranches you need to take. Now, I'm not saying Valerie Plame is the only person that does this. I'm just putting a face on it. That's how much yellow cake to get that many UF6 containers, to get that many fuel rods, so Steve Bannon and Scaramucci can go to Skybridge Capital, get that big order, and everybody's happy, okay? All right, so we're to yellow cake. Well, guess what? It doesn't turn into yellow cake all by itself, right? We need to go start digging. Now, we're going to be able to hire human miners. Hire is a very loose word in the Congo, which means basically slave labor, and then we throw them in a pit when we're done with them. Just have, what's his name? Katambe, Kawame. No, Kagame. Shinkalobe, Kagame. Thank you, Task Force. In Africa, we can get away with that. Here, we're gonna have to use DOE sanctions, EPA sanctions. We're gonna have to use the whole purview of the U.S. government to get those ranches, right? We're gonna have to use the U.S. Geological Survey. We're gonna have to use the NOAA satellite database and so forth. We're probably gonna have to, like that South Dakota mine that Jason was at, you have to run those robotic mining equipment at night. We're gonna need power plants. We're gonna need those snap power, this kind of snap-in power for those robotic mining machines. Sounds crazy, but if you actually go into a coal mine now, 90% of the mining is already done by robots. So just ask any coal miner if there aren't robots doing mining already. Not a new thing, okay? So now, we got a bunch of ore, okay? We got a bunch of ore. That's gonna be somewhere in between the yellow cake and going back there, let's just say, the Department of Energy building. That looks like a bunch of ore. So that looks like a bunch of ore. It's old and it's ugly. So there's ore, there's yellow cake, you got it, yellow cake. So what? Cylinders, UF6 cylinders. over to the fuel rods. And then Steve Bannon and Scaramucci can do Skybridge Capital. Purple Shovels is the cover. And we're good to go, okay? Now, there's only one last thing, which is if that's the uranium ore, then you got to dig up that much dirt, okay? We'll make the Department of Transportation building dirt.
Department of Dirt, yeah.
You're going to need permits. Guess where you're going to get your building Bureau of Mines permits? Bureau of Mines is a part of Department of Energy. So really, this all is going to start with the Bureau of Mines. Now, where's it all going to get back to? All those original mining plats and everything, all is going to go back to the University of Denver, Colorado School of Mines. That's where this whole chain is going to start. And that's how you have to think of it. If you go back into Clinton's history, you'll see Frank Giustra and the mining business over and over and over and over again, repeating pattern. Bring in a group from, or the CIA as well, bring in a group from another area, take over the mine, and then you're good. That's the CIA's part. Think about it. You have to have DACA. DACA is required. You must have DACA. You must be able to pick and choose the people you bring into the country to affect this whole system. One, dirt. 2, ore. 3, yellow cake. 4, cylinders. 5, rods. Scaramucci and Bannon are writing the check. And there are going to be people all along the way, the key people. Lambert here with the UF6 containers. Rods over here, Austell. Okay. Yellow cake. Valerie Plame and all those yellow cake Uzbeki truckers. Those truckers are going to, I think the truckers shipped the yellow cake. I don't think they shipped the ore. But I believe that in the southwest corner of Utah is where the yellow cake reduction happens. We just haven't quite worked out that yet. There's a couple of different mines in Henderson, Nevada that I think the reduction may be happening, or in the southwest corner. I'm thinking it's the Kamiko reduction area, but not sure, not sure.